Antonio Rüdiger's name has always been tied to two things: uncompromising defending and an intensity that divides opinion. He's the player supporters cheer for his fearlessness and critics point to when it spills over. But this season, every decision carries more weight than usual. Not just because of matches, but because his future at the club is at stake. The shock headlines after the Copa del Rey final felt like a cliff edge moment. Rüdiger, furious at what he saw as an injustice, threw an object in the direction of referee Ricardo de Burgos Bengoechea and was sent off, a scene that was replayed across feeds and sparked a disciplinary storm. He apologized publicly afterwards, words on social media and interviews, but that apology, while necessary, lived in the public sphere. What happened next was quieter, more human, and possibly far more consequential. Before a recent match, Rüdiger did something few expected. He walked up to the very referee involved in that controversy and apologized, face to face. The exchange was short and tense, and then calm. The official accepted the gesture, and Rüdiger admitted afterwards that the meeting lifted a weight off him. For a player fighting to rewrite a recent narrative, that private moment matters like a turning point. It's accountability in person, not just a post or a press line, and Madrid's dressing room, coaching staff, and the watching world took notice. That one handshake or brief conversation must now be read as part of a bigger story. Rüdiger is not only dealing with the psychological fallout of that final, he is in a contract year. Signed on a 4-year deal when he joined from Chelsea, the ticking clock means every display, every interview and every behavioural sign now factor into whether he stays beyond the current cycle. And the landscape at Real Madrid has shifted. Long-term injuries have healed, and key names are returning to contention. Eder Militao, once sidelined with a serious AL issue, has been working his way back, and the club have been careful to reintegrate him, meaning central defensive minutes that once looked guaranteed are now under pressure. At the same time, Real Madrid invested in youth and long-term quality, bringing in Dean Huijsen this summer, a young centre-back whose signing signals the club's intent to refresh the defensive core. For Rüdiger, that mix of returning veterans and fresh signings means his role is no longer a given. It's something he must fight for every match. But Xabi Alonso, Real Madrid's coach, is also watching the off-field character as closely as he watches match form. Managers at the highest level prize reliability and emotional control. They need leaders who can marshal the dressing room on big nights without becoming part of the problem. Rüdiger's in-person apology sends the right signal on that front. A veteran acknowledging a mistake, taking responsibility, and demonstrating he is trying to move forward. That is not a fix in itself, because football is mercilessly performance-based. Excuses or apologies don't earn minutes, clean headers and consistent minutes do. Still, personal accountability like this matters when coaches decide whom to trust in high-pressure fixtures and when club executives weigh up whether to open negotiations about a contract extension. So where does that leave Rüdiger? The immediate answer is simple and brutal. He must convert the moment to consistency on the pitch. If he can couple that public humility with composed, dominant defending when selected, he reasserts his value: leadership, aerial dominance, tactical intelligence. If he fails to back up the apology, the optics will harden and the club will start planning for life without him. But for now, the narrative has pivoted from fury to a quieter form of redemption. One that says the player knows what's at stake and is actively trying to repair it. In an environment where comebacks happen on the pitch as much as in headlines, Rüdiger has given himself a second chance. The rest is up to him. The fans, the coach and the board will be watching every minute. This apology was more than words. It was a calculated step in a high-stakes career game, and whether it proves decisive will be one of the most compelling storylines of the season.